Good evening, everyone. I'm Nancy Maxwell, and I'm the director of Carbondale United, and I want to welcome you to the virtual event Hair Story. Um, I'm gonna go through the schedule right quick. We'll go have Carbondale United's upcoming events. Then it will be the history of braiding, a braiding lesson, care, and tips. Sorry about that. We'll also do four prize giveaways. Our host this evening is Emerald McGowan. Emerald, professional name Emerald Avril, is a 30-year-old single mother. She is a student at Cascadia Community College studying nail technology. Emerald was born in Chicago, Illinois, and is an active member of her community in Carbondale, Illinois. She is a founding member of Soul Ill Unity Coalition, a community organization dedicated to the betterment of Southern Illinois area. She is also a musician and a podcast host. She enjoys exercise, music, art, and spending time with family and friends, as well as working towards becoming a better person all around. I'm going to turn the mic over to Emerald.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us, tonight. I do want to apologize if you hear a little noise. It's just my son being a 2-year-old. So just ignore it. Today, we're going to talk about the history of Black hair. I'm very excited to be here tonight. So thanks for joining us. If you have a question, please use the Q&A function to submit your question. Submit your question anonymously by selecting the Send Anonymously option. If you are watching on Facebook, comment on the video and we'll relay your question. You can also chat with us and the other attendees using the Zoom chat or Facebook comments. By attending this, and if you decided to get a kit, you will receive a certificate in the email from the Carbondale Library for completing the event and lessons. In your email, please include your name as you would like it to appear on the certificate. And you can email us at ehartman@carbondale.lib.il.us. That's ehartman@carbondale.lib.il.us. Carbondale United mission statement is to provide an avenue of healing and community safety through awareness, education, and activism. Our goals are to eliminate gun violence and racism from our neighborhoods and to provide events that are inclusive and diverse. You can also register to find out more info at carbondalepubliclibrary.org. The next thing we have coming up is the truth about HB 3653, Illinois Criminal Justice Reform Bill. And our speaker will be LG Sims Jr. And that will be on next Monday, March 8th. We will be discussing the House bill and it will be at 6 p.m. It will also be on Carbondale Public Library Zoom. So please tune in. We also are coming up on the 1-year anniversary of the death of Breonna Taylor. Soul Ill Unity Coalition presents March for Justice. 1 year later and still no justice, no peace. This will take place on March 13th, 2021, and we will meet at the Carbondale Pavilion. Please join us. We also have Undiscussable. Got problems? Talk about it. Join members on Zoom to ask tough questions anonymously. This will be March the 15th at 6 p.m. It's time to unite. Carbondale United presents virtual open mic, March 16th, 2021 at 6 p.m. You can contact Nancy Maxwell for more information at 618-305-5885. The Women's Center is celebrating Women's History Month with the Black Tuesday Business Group. This will be Tuesday, March 23rd, 2021, 4 to 7 p.m. at the University Mall. For more info, you can also contact Nancy Maxwell at the same number. The Women's Center and Soul Unity presents Armacy Hayes Cleanup Day, March 11th, 5 to 8 p.m. Help wanted, volunteers needed. This will be at 441 East Willow Street, or, the Armacy Hayes Center. You can contact Nancy Maxwell as well on that event.
Hey everybody, before we really get started here, we're going to do our first prize giveaway of the evening. We have some wonderful prizes that Nancy has for you, and I'm just going to use a quick number generator here from our Zoom registrations, and we will see who will receive our first prize giveaway. We're looking at number 18, and that is Stephanie Lewis. Stephanie Lewis, congratulations. We will contact you about picking up your prize. Thank you so much for joining us, and we'll move on.
Please help me in welcoming Madi Adele. I hope I said your name correct. She is a current student at Loyola Storch School of Medicine. She has an unshifting, I'm sorry guys, I'm reading from my phone, so it's hard to see, resolve towards building community and encouraging diversity. She received her bachelor's in biological sciences from NIU in 2015. Soon after, she began Med Prep, a post-baccalaureate program at SIU, allowing her to simultaneously earn her master's in public health and integrate her interest in health sciences with community health. As a part of her capstone project, she created programs for women's empowerment at the Women's Health Clinic under the supervision of Nancy Maxwell. After finishing medical school, she plans on continuing her education to become an emergency medicine physician.
Hi, everyone. Can everyone hear me all right? Thank you so
Hear
much.
you great. Thank you.
Thank you so much for that. Welcome, Emerald. My name is Mide. I'm so happy to be here and to talk about HairStory, especially with the ending of Black History Month and the start of Women's History Month. So love that for us. So we're going to be talking about kind of where braiding styles, where they originated from, and the history behind it as it pertains to Black people. So in the beginning, the hairstyle here, pictured here, that we're all familiar with, also known as cornrows, can actually be historically traced as far as the early 19th century, all the way back to the motherland, Ethiopia. Where many warriors and kings have been depicted, obviously in images wearing cornrows. So this is a picture of the Emperor of Ethiopia. He was emperor from 1872 to 1889, shown in this picture. So cornrows have been around for a long time. Next slide, please. Okay. And even going further back, all the way to the Stone Age, BC time, there are pictures, hieroglyphs, stone paintings showing women with cornrows found in these paintings in the Sahara Desert. And these have been dated as far back as 3000 BC. There are also Native American paintings that has shown cornrows as a hairstyle dating back as far as 1000 years as well. Next slide. So how did cornrows get here, right? I mean, one of the, events that brought us over here was the transatlantic slave trade. And during that time, you know, many slaves were forced to shave their hair to be considered more sanitary, and to meet European standards. So, and to move them away from their culture as well as their identity on purpose. But many enslaved Africans would not obey the rule. They would not cut their hair, but they would braid them tightly in cornrows in order to maintain a neat and tidy appearance, which I think we still do today. Enslaved Africans would also, in terms of trying to escape slavery, would use it to transfer, create maps, to work on communicating that they wanted to leave the plantation, and as well as to create maps in order to leave and to be able to escape. So hair was really used immediately as a tool for resistance, from being moved from their home to being moved from their home and wanting to retain their culture, to also using it as kind of an escape route for escaping slavery as well. Next slide. So an example of that is King Benkos Bioho. I hope I'm saying that right. And he was actually a king that was captured from Africa, particularly Guinea, by the Portuguese. And they brought him over to Colombia. And he was someone that basically freed himself from slavery, basically negotiated his freedom as well as the freedom of other people, and created like a small village of his own. So he built a village known as San Basilio de Palenque, a village in northern Colombia, which around the 17th century. And one of the ways that he kind of played into this resistance that we're talking about and helped to escape and help others escape was by creating his own method of communication, which, like I said earlier, an idea of that was to have kind of an intelligence network through the braids. So he would have women create maps, deliver messages through their cornrows. And this was really a way for them to communicate and a way for them to also work on escaping as well. Next slide. And bringing it back to, I guess, the modern area, starting from, you know, King Benkos, now bringing it to Espirula Garcia. So she's actually an Afro-Colombian who's been braiding hair as long as she can remember, and is very in tune with the history as well of hair braiding and our hair story. So she was about 8 years old when she started to braid. And then, of course, as she got older, her braiding skills increased. She, you know, began to create more elaborate hairstyles. She would add different designs like birds, butterflies, and even musical instruments. And with these styles, she actually won first place, and it wasn't last year, it was actually in around 2011 at a braiding festival in Bogota. So she was able, you know, through her talent, she was really sought out, and especially for, you know, retaining the culture of braiding hair. So she was chosen to demonstrate braiding tradition at the Folklife Festival. So she's very popular there. When she's working there, people surround and observe her braiding strategy, and of course are in awe of her intricate designs, one of which is pictured right here. And I believe that's her. Yeah. This is a picture of her with one of her braiding styles. Next slide. So Spirula it's very in tune with the history of what it took from back with, you know, King Benkos coming in as a slave into Colombia to now, you know, modern day braiding practices. And she lets us know that braiding tradition is, of course, many hundreds of years old in Colombia and even older in Africa, of course, where it started. The first slaves did come into Colombia, were taken by the Portuguese and brought to Colombia around the beginning of the 16th century. They were bought by the Spaniards. They settled and began to work on sugar plantations. Here, groups of slaves, just such as, King Benkos and others, would of course plot to escape and would plot to find refuge in areas that were remote and try to start their own villages and basically try to get back to their culture and get back to freedom. So in many of those areas that people thought were uninhabitable, many slaves would thrive. They would build communities. And one of those areas is called Choco, which is where Espirula Garcia is from, which has been mainly Black for hundreds of years. So a lot of these communities also work to retain their culture and their heritage and their history as well. Next slide. One of those braiding styles that we learned from Miss Garcia, Miss Espirula Garcia, is the partes, which is a braiding style that was used to relay messages during that time. This is pictured here. It's kind of like that updo braiding style where it would give a signal indicating that they wanted to escape. So the women would braid this hairstyle on the person who wanted to escape's head. And that way they could communicate to, whoever was coming to kind of try to free them, or, whatever mission was happening that they were interested in leaving. And departes is kind of like this thick, tight braids that were braided closely to the scalp and then tied into a bun on the top of the person's head, as pictured. So, slaves, I'm sure, definitely had to be, or I should say the enslaved, had to be particularly creative in how they communicated their messages so that, their owners could not figure out what they were trying to do. Next slide. Another style that is kind of utilized in this whole mission of trying to escape are the curved braids. So these are braid styles that are also tightly braided to one's head, and they would represent the roads that they would use to escape. So it was honestly like a map on someone's head. And I'm sure they were very intricate and would kind of tell you where you're supposed to go in order to, get to refuge. And in these braids, they also would keep gold. They would also hide seeds to help them survive in the long term and help them survive after they escape. So that was also another style of braiding within the enslaved groups. Next slide. So just to conclude, a lot of these Afro-Colombian hairstyles, starting from King Benkos all the way to Spirula Garcia, have come from the times of slavery. They were used for communication. They were used for refuge, and they were used kind of as a map for escaping. And this is a picture of women, sitting, and also there were group activities. This was a way to kind of relax, or I shouldn't say relax, but spend time with each other after a back-breaking day of labor. So as you can see here, it's kind of group work, a way to spend time with each other and braid each other's hair. Next slide. Okay. So these are the two common kind of braiding techniques. When we talk about braiding close to the head, these are the two common braiding techniques that we have today. So we have the cornrow, and then we have the French braid. There's not too much of a difference. Cornrows, the braid is raised above, so it's overhand, whereas French braids tend to be underhand. So as you can see here, the French braid kind of looks a little flatter, and then the cornrow has more of like a definitive shape to it as well. So those are the two kind of braiding styles that we tend to do today. Next slide. Okay. And then kind of bringing it back to where we are now, as we know, cornrows are still, long-term facet of African beauty, African-American beauty and life. In many African societies, a lot of braid patterns, hairstyles, the amount of times you got braided definitely would indicate, the community you're from, your age, your marital status, your wealth, your power, your social position, as well as sometimes your religion based on, how this type of style you would do. In the Caribbean, the style may be referred to as cane rolls to represent slaves planting sugar cane and not corn. So I guess they kind of have a different name for it. And this, I believe, this picture, I believe it's like the lemonade braids that were really popular recently, popularized by Beyonce. So many cornrow styles is braiding the hair very close to the scalp and an underhand upward motion in order to create a single line of raised row, creating the hence cornrow. So, and I believe there will be a example later on. Next slide. And then this is also another example of the type of cornrows that are also popular today. I'm blanking on the actual names of this, but they are not called racerback like the Kardashians tried to tell us. They are cornrows. They've definitely remained a favorite. I think it's very interesting. I think it says a lot about African American culture that we find different ways to, up to this day, centuries and centuries and centuries later, we're still finding different styles for cornrows. And I don't think it's something that we'll ever get bored of. But unfortunately, many people do not know like the deep and rich history of the hairstyle that honestly saved the lives of so many. And a lot of people might even try to act like cornrows are not, neat or professional or, whatever other stereotypes are attached to them. But they actually have a very rich history. They've started from the beginning of time and actually have been instrumental in liberation and the freedom that we continuously struggle for. So this is very educational just to talk more about it and to kind of teach about the role and how it was birthed into what we now know. So we wanted to share this hair story with you all. Make sure you pass it on. Make sure you tell other people what you've learned about today about where cornrows came from. Next slide. And speaking of maps, we no longer have to use braids to find our way home or other places, thankfully. I believe I just can't even imagine doing that, like trying to make a map on your head nowadays. But a reason that we don't have to do that is thankful to Ms. Gladys West, who created the modern day GPS. She started this at a US Navy base in Virginia back in the 1950s and 60s. And so she created this software and it became the foundation for the GPS system that we know today. Little did she know that the work would play a pivotal role in creating a popular form of technology that is now incorporated into cell phones, cars, and social media, and that I use every day because I'm very, I don't know, I'm just very like direction. I just can't figure things out without GPS. So thank you, Miss Gladys West. She is definitely a hidden figure, someone that we don't learn about often, behind the global positioning system, also known as GPS. And as of now, it looks like she's been inducted into the Air Force Space and Missile Pioneer Hall of Fame. Of course, she should be recognized for her work. And thanks to her, we no longer have to braid, where we're going into our hair. Next slide. All right, thank you all for joining and listening to me. Here are our references, and please let us know if you have any questions.
Now we're going to open it up for Q&A. If you would like to ask her any questions about braiding, or if you just have a question about the slides, now's your chance to ask them.
So it doesn't look like we have any questions from the Q&A at this point, but if you end up having any questions about the history of braiding, we will have 2 other Q&A segments as we go on with tonight. So if you end up with a question, just put it in the Q&A or in the Facebook live stream chat or in the Zoom chat, and we will make sure to get an answer for you. Thank you so much. So we will go on with the second prize giveaway of the night. Again, thank you so much for joining us. And I want to say thank you so much to Mide for an incredible presentation. Absolutely dynamite. Thank you so much. And thank you to Emerald for emceeing. So we'll get along with our second prize giveaway here. And I've got my random number generator ready to go. And it will be number 20, Mackenzie Miller. Mackenzie Miller, congratulations. Thank you for joining us tonight, and we will get in touch with you about picking up your prize. By the way, this disembodied voice speaking to you is Liz Hartman. I am the Teen and Youth Librarian at Carbondale Public Library. If you have any questions about teen programming or our program project Next Generation, which is STEM programming for 5th through 8th graders, just get in touch with me. My email is all over the Carbondale Public Library website. I am sure that you will find me. And we'll get on with the rest of our night. Thank you so much for being here.
Liz, I do see one question in the Q&A.
Fantastic.
The question is, are there schools that teach braiding? I don't know if any of you know the answer to that.
At the base level in cosmetology school, they do teach braiding. But you would have to try to find a Black-owned cosmetology school to get more intricate training, because it's just very basic, the teaching that they do on braiding.
I do also see that we have a comment in the Facebook chat that JALC, I think that is in reference to the braiding. So I personally can't say I know anything about their program there, but that is, yes, that is another option for people. Thank you so much.
Also, some hairstylists do one-on-ones. You would just have to, find that in your area. Please help me in welcoming Brittany Matthews. Brittany Matthews is a licensed cosmetologist from Cairo, Illinois, who has styled hair for more than 15 years in the Southern Illinois area. Brittany specializes in hair braiding and protective styles, especially for those with natural hair. She believes the secret to beautiful hair is to keep it clean, conditioned, and moisturized, hair ends clipped regularly, and to drink plenty of water. I will now turn it over to Brittany Matthews.
Hello, can everyone hear me now?
Can hear you. Thank you so much, Brittany.
Okay, awesome. Thank you, Ms. Emerald, for welcoming me. I am excited to be on the panel tonight to talk about hair braiding. First, before we start with an actual mannequin to do hair braiding, I would like to show you a short video clip. Dan zet ik het op Marion hoofd. Dan zet het hier. In Marion hoofd, je hoeft niet veel te hebben. Als je dat een beetje hebt, blijft het hierin. Zo had zij het gedaan.
Ja, en waar had ze dat gedaan, Edith? Op het slavenschip of in Paramaribo of in Afrika?
In Afrika.
Oké.
Ja, want we hebben het vandaag meegenomen. En dan had ze haar gevlochten. Het zit al erin. En dan gaat ze dan vlechten. Vlechten zo. Zie je?
Ja.
Is dit? Zo was het gebeurd. En dan zat ik daarin. Zo gedaan. Ja. En nu is het dit. Dus zo had die mevrouw toen de tijd gedaan. En dan had ze tot een reisplantsoen in die haren.
Okay, thank you. So in that video clip that was shown, that was a way that people were able to eat food by hiding food in their hair. And as you can see, she put the rice down in the middle of the part and then began to braid to cover it up. Okay, so thank you for sharing that video. So on the mannequin, I have 4 different types of braids that I will show today. First, we're going to start with just a regular braid, okay? This could be called a plait, an individual braid, a box braid, pretty much just a simple braid that hangs loosely from the scalp, okay? So for those that have the hair kit or for those that may be watching, I'm going to ask that you go ahead and part a piece of hair off. So I'll probably have to turn this around that way. You all can see it. Okay, I'll lean it back and I'll just take a small portion of hair, and this will be for the plait or individual braid or box braid. You just part a small square portion from the scalp, and we'll use 3 strands. So you need 3 to do the plait, box braid, individual braid. There's a million names for this type of braid. Okay, so if you have your 3, okay, you'll take your left and go under, right, go under, left, under, right, under, left, under. So again, you need 3 strands, and you'll take your right, under, left, under, right, and just keep repeating those same steps. You can braid loose or you can braid pretty tight. And if you see I'm braiding pretty tight, I'll put it close to the camera. You can see I have a really nice plait braid. And then you just keep going. I'm sorry, turn it this way. So you go under, you just go right and left. Just go under, right under, left under, right under, left under. And then you just keep on going. Okay, and that's it. You have a plait. This hangs loosely from the scalp. You have to have 3 strands, 3 hair strands. You just go under to the right and then under to the left, and you just keep going until you get a full plait. Individual braid, box braid. There are several names to describe this type of braid, okay? This is a plait. Next, we will show a twist braid. These are very popular, especially in the natural hair world. Those who have natural hair, they tend to part it off about this size or much smaller, and they just do twisties all over the head. So you can see these two look very different. This is just a regular plait individual braid, and this will be considered a twist. Okay, so now doing the same thing, just get a portion of hair, little square, and we're just going to twist. With the twist, you will need 2 strands, okay? Just comb it out. You need 2 strands. So once you get your 2 strands, you'll just take the right over the left. But as you twist, be sure that you're twisting the hair. So I have my 2 strands, and I'm going to go right over left. But as I'm going right over left, I'm twisting the hair, kind of like rolling it. So roll, twist, roll, and then twist. It's kind of like you're rubbing it between your fingers. Roll the hair and then twist it. Right over left. And some people do twist left over right. It just depends on your preference. But just twist the hair in between your 2 fingers, your thumb and your forefinger, and you just roll. Roll it, twist it. Roll it, twist it. Roll the hair and then you twist it. Roll. So I go left over right, and some people go right over left. Roll the 2 strands individually. You roll them and then you twist them. Roll and twist. Okay. And now we have a 2-strand twist braid, or some people can call these twisties. Just totally depends on the person. But there's a, so you see the difference. You have a 2-strand twist, and then we have the braid, plaid, or individual, however you want to call this one. They look similar far away, but up close you can tell the difference. Okay, so moving on, we're going to talk about 2 more braids before I be done. And you have just a regular cornrow braid that takes 3 hair strands, and also an under braid, reverse braid that goes under. So first we're going to look into doing just a regular cornrow braid that takes 3 strands, and then next we will look at the under braid. Okay, as you can see, this braid kind of sits out more, the cornrow, and then this braid is kind of flat. It's very flat. Okay, so on your mannequin or your hair kit, just go ahead and part you a section. Make sure you have enough, maybe a couple inches, where you can actually braid down on the scalp. Okay, so I've already pre-parted, and I hope I'm not rushing, or people have time, take the time to do what you need. So just part. As you can see, this is about what I have. Okay, not much, a couple inches or so. And I hope everyone can see this with the way I have the mannequin. Okay, and you'll just comb it out. And like I said, you'll need 3 strands as well. And we're doing a cornrow, known as a braid as well. Okay, and this is the one that will look like it sticks out on top. Okay, so you'll just take 1 on the right, 1 in the middle, 1 on the left. Okay, you take your left, go over to the right and grab that hair. The hair that you have on top of your forefinger, you take it and you go under and grab the left strand. Okay. Then you go back under there, you grab the hair on the right. You just changing sides. And then you go back under, grab the hair on the left. The hair that's over your right hand forefinger, you take that, go under, grab the hair on the right. Okay, then you'll take the hair you have on the right, you just go grab the left. The middle stays the middle. You just go on taking it from right to left. Okay, and like I said, I'm sorry if it appears that I'm rushing. I just want to kind of show you all the best way I can virtually. But you definitely need 3 strands. Like I said, you need 1 on the right, 1 in the middle, and 1 on the left side. Okay, and there you have a braid. And then when you finish your braid, wherever it will stop at, you just take it and you just kind of the same way you would do the plait that we did at first. And you just braid it down. And there you have a cornrow. All right. There is a cornrow that you can feel, and like I said, it stands out from the scalp. All right. Very similar to your plait, only your plait just comes out from the scalp as a single braid that hangs loosely, and the cornrow is attached to the scalp. Some people call them scalp braids because it's attached and it goes down the scalp. Okay. So our last braid before I let you all go would be the under braid. There's several names for that one as well, reverse braid, but most people say under braid. Those braids, like I said, they lay flatter to the scalp versus the cornrow or the regular braid, okay? And I hope everybody is able to see what I am doing. Okay. Again, you will just need to part off a section, couple inches, not much, but just enough to where you can get something to lay down. All right. You will also still need 3 strands of hair. Same way, 1 to the right, 1 in the middle, and 1 to the left. Kind of like you just got 1, 2, 3. You know, I'll make a part real quick and just show that really quickly. It's kind of, some people do this too. When they get ready to braid, some people actually make a small part going across at the very start of their braid, and then they'll go 1, 2, 3. Some people do that, and that is totally okay. If you are a beginner braider, it's totally okay to just kind of part off straight across a small part on your braid, and you have to make sure you already parted the braid though, that you're going to just the hair that you're going to braid, and then at the top just section off 3. That is totally okay. Okay, so we're doing the under braid. Under braid, it's the same technique as the cornrow, only you're going over. So you got your 3. Okay. So you take the right, you'll go over to the left. So instead of going under, we're going over. Okay, you grab your hair in the middle. The hair you got over there, you take it and you grab your right. Okay, the hair in the middle, you take it, grab your left. Okay, the hair you got that's loose, hanging by itself, you take it, you grab your right. Okay. The hair that you have in the middle that's left, you take it, grab your left. Same technique, you just going over instead of under. Messed up my part there a little bit. Okay. The hair that you have under, take it, and you just go from right to left. You just picking up the hair as you go. The same way as the cornrow. Same way. Some people find this easier. Some people find this to be harder. In my honest opinion, I prefer to do a cornrow. But I have no problem with the under braid. It all depends on what style you're going for, which will determine which braid you get. And then sometimes if that's the only type of braid that you know how to do, then that's what works. That's what will have to work, right? Okay. Like I said, the middle, you go to the right, whatever you have left, you take it, go over, grab the other side. You just go from side to side. Okay. And I'll just stop there. And you take it and you do it the same way. You will finish your last one. You just take it and you twist it. You braid it. So very similar to your plait. Very similar to your plait. And you just braid it on down. And of course, over time, the more you practice with it, it becomes very easy to do. Okay. So it's leaned a little because I was trying to lean over, but you see this one is a little more flatter than that one. Okay. It's a lot more flatter than this one. So we have a under braid, this one, a cornrow, regular braid. Then we have here, we consider a plait or individual braid, box braid. And then here we will have a twist braid. Just a twist. So I do recommend anyone that wants to practice and learn more about braiding hair. They do sell mannequins at Sally's, and I believe Amazon have them. There are a lot of different sites that you can get mannequins from. And this is just a mannequin. Just like I can wash this, I can color it, braid it. So these are very helpful in learning how to braid hair. So that is all I have. Thank you all for watching. I hope I didn't go too fast, and I hope that you were able to learn something today about braiding.
If you have any questions, you can put them in the Q&A or in the chat. We're looking at Facebook too, so wherever you want to type them.
We have for Brittany. I don't know if you are still on, but someone wants to know, how do you finish the ends of braids?
Yes, I do see that. So that would determine on the desired style. If you want to leave them loose, you can possibly put rubber bands or beads or something on them. It also depends if you're doing your natural hair or if you putting in extensions. But I'm assuming this is about natural hair. So if that's the case, you can use different creams and gels to kind of help keep their hair together. And like I said, there are a lot of different nice beads they have out now and hair jewelry that you can attach to the ends or close to the ends that will help keep it in place. So it just depends on the desired style.
From the Q&A, I have African friends who also use thread as one of their sections. Have you ever used thread?
No, I have not, if I understand that question correctly. Use thread as one of their sections. I'm not
think of our sew-ins, maybe.
Sew-ins, okay. Yeah, they want to clarify what they're asking, because I don't want to say something that may not be true, but I'm not exactly sure what they mean by use thread as one of their sections. Parting sections, or so if they can clarify, that'll be great.
I think I might know what she's talking about. There's this style where we actually braid the hair with thread.
Okay.
I don't know if that's what she's saying, but like instead of using extensions, we use actual thread and some plastic and rubber and braid it with it.
Okay, she's saying they use thread as one of the 3 sections. No, I have not ever used that method. So I'm assuming that they're intertwining the thread with the braid. Would that be why they would use thread as one of the 3 sections, or is it a guide to start the braid?
She said yes.
Yes, they are. Okay. Okay, cool. Yeah, I have never done it before myself.
I think that's all the questions that we have at this time, so we can move along to another prize giveaway. And of course, if you end up having any further questions, we will have one more Q&A section. So feel free to put your questions in the Facebook live stream chat or into Zoom. So another prize giveaway. Again, thank you so much for joining us tonight. And Brittany, thank you so much for an excellent, excellent demonstration and tutorial. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So thank you for being here. So our next prize will be going to, sorry, just rolled the same number as I did last time. Our next prize will be going to Shatara Reed. Shatara Reed, congratulations. We will get in touch with you about picking up your prize. Thanks so much.
Okay, so I guess it's my turn now. So I'm sure you're wondering what qualified Emerald to be the host tonight. Well, other than being a member of So Ill, I too have a hair story like most Black women. When the group came up with this idea, Nancy kept saying, "Oh my gosh, I need some women to come on and tell their story." And finally, after a while, I said, "Nancy, I'm the host. Why don't I just tell the story?" So once we were done talking and she heard my story, she was like, "Oh yes, you have to tell them your story." So my story starts like many other Black women. I had long hair until my mama permed my hair. So laugh all you want, but it's true. But no, really, my mom and my sister's hair is so different from mine. They have, like the curly, long, thick kind of hair thing going on. And I have like the hair that shrinks. So my mom didn't quite know what to do with my hair. And after a while, she started taking me to the Africans that lived in the same apartment complex as us. I'm failing on the exact country they're from, so just charge it to my head and not my heart. I enjoyed my time so much with them. They treated me like one of their family members. They took great care of my hair. And after a while, it did seem to help my hair grow and stay stretched out. As time went on, we moved out of the apartment complex and my mother started doing my hair more and taking great care of it. But then one day, my mom had the genius idea to perm my hair because I was like her personal baby doll. That's what she says. So she was like, I think you would be so adorable with blunt cut bangs. And I was. But unfortunately for me, she didn't keep perming my hair after she permed it for that hairstyle. And if anybody knows anything about perms, one, they are extremely dangerous. And two, the aftercare of your hair is pivotal. So either you maintain the hair without it, or you continue to get perms so it won't break off. But not too many perms because it might break off. So many years after that, it was just the recovery stage. My mom had my hair braided, micros that pulled out edges, short grown women perm hair on a 13-year-old. It's funny now, it really is. But I hated it there. So once I was old enough, I said enough is enough. And I started to just transition to natural. But I still wasn't giving my hair the care that it truly needed. I was doing crazy stuff like leaving my hair natural, but perming and cutting my edges because they always curled up. I know, crazy. Or doing partial sew-ins and frying my leave out until it broke off. At this point, I gave up on ever showing and wearing my natural hair again. I thought my days of having long hair was gone unless a miracle happened. Fortunately for me, literally, God intervened. I got pregnant. And no, I didn't magically grow my hair down to my butt, but I learned to accept and love myself because God only made one me. Plus, I had all the time in the world to lay around, be natural, and love on myself. I started watching YouTube videos and finding YouTubers that had similar hair as mine. I started to try different methods. I made rice water and that helps with your scalp. It helps you grow your hair back. It helps you retain length. And it also naturally stretches your hair out. It helps with dandruff, like so many things. So I bought all different types of shampoo and conditioners. I started investing in oils, leave-in conditioners, blocks of shea butter, you name it. I started doing my own hair and I learned that my hair type had to be stretched and moisturized. Literally my whole hairline from the edges being snatched out and permed and all the crazy things I did to my hair grew back. I started to keep my hair braided, but take the braids out every 1 to 2 months. I let my hair breathe. I wore it natural. I kept my ends trimmed, still keep them trimmed. I'm still doing all of this stuff to this day. I really am a naturalista now, and I'm proud of the progress I have made. I really truly believe that every woman, especially Black women, should get to know their hair personally. Yes, hairstylists are necessary. I do nails, so I don't want to tell you not to service the beauty industry, but take the time to know your own hair. Learn the products that work for you, because most of the time you may think that your hair is, I don't know, extremely nappy or dry. But if you get products that your hair loves, your hair pattern can change, your curls can start to stretch. And that's exactly what happened with my hair. I started steaming it. I started just making sure that it was moisturized. And now it's just growing like wildfire. So I'm telling you this to say, nobody else will know your hair better than you will know it. And when I heard a YouTuber say it, it made so much sense to me, because I'm so into myself and, doing beauty things and pampering myself. So just take the time to get to know you, and you never know, your hair can start loving you back. So that's all that I have. It looks like we have some questions in the Q&A. Somebody said, what are the best products to use in hair? I'm not the best person to answer this because I only do my hair. I do nails, I don't do hair. So maybe two of the other panelists can answer. I know for me, making sure that you use heat protectant, making sure that you use leave-in conditioner in your hair if sometimes it's dry or stuff like that, or if it tends to suck up products or water a lot, leave-in conditioner can help. Rice water can help. But much like anything, you have to find how long to leave it out, or you can buy some off the shelf because now they're selling it in products, pre-made rice water. But natural is always the best way. If you can make your own rice water, I would advise doing it. Just research things, try to find a YouTuber that's similar to you and the hair that you have, so that it can help you. So I'm going to turn the rest of the Q&A over to the other panelists because I don't do hair. I just was asked to tell my hair story. So thank you guys.
I will chime in on what is best to use. I say it depends on your hair type. No, not everyone shares the same type of hair. So that would be number one, is understanding what kind of hair do you have and what kind of style you're going for, as well as if you are natural versus being relaxed. That makes a big difference as well, knowing knowing what to use. If you're natural or relaxed, what type of hair you have, and what are you trying to achieve in terms of what products to use. I'm assuming to maintain that healthy hair. So that's kind of hard to answer as a general question.
I did see a question about cornrows and French braids. And one of the, I can't remember her name, not Brittany, but the other woman, she actually had a slide. If Liz, if you can put that up, it's a slide that compares a French braid and a cornrow. But if she'll put the slide up, you can see that the French braid tends to be flatter to the head and the cornrow tends to be raised. There you go. So it says there's not a lot of difference between French braid and cornrows, but cornrows are overhand, so the braid is raised above, whereas French braids tend to be underhanded and the braid lays underneath. And then I also, Sean said that he lives in an area that does not sell Black products. You recently moved to Ohio and you're not familiar with the area. My suggestion, most of the hair products I get off Amazon. I'm not even lying. Stuff that you find in Walmart is way cheaper in Amazon. I know some people are slow to transition to digital, but you cannot, even if you don't want to support Amazon because they're filthy rich, you can go to google.com and it'll take you to walmart.com and you can get anything you need offline. Seriously, I think it's even some Black beauty supply stores that sell stuff online, like from the hood, where you can get the cheaper prices and the stuff that you won't find in grocery stores. So I would advise you just Googling what you're looking for.
Yeah, I agree. It's a lot of beauty supply stores and beauty salons. Also Amazon as well, Walmart. There's a lot of online resources that you can get your products from if you don't live in an area that has Black hair products. Instagram is also a great place. If you're not on Facebook, either one, Facebook or Instagram, just typing in certain keywords like Black hair products or Black salons or stuff like that, you'll see a lot of things that'll populate, and I'm sure most places will be willing, or they do ship to you. So that's always a great option.
I see. What are the best what are the best brushes for natural hair? For my hair, I use like a paddle brush or a wig brush, or some people call it a white girl brush, whatever you want to use it. I don't have one in front of me, but it's a detangler. So it detangles my hair without ripping it out. And I only use like a hard brush if I'm doing a hairstyle. So that's what I use. But like Brittany said, and like I said before, it really depends on your hair type. So you have to learn your hair type and take the time to get to know yourself so you know what to use if you're not going to utilize a hairstylist. And sometimes hairstylists don't know either. So it's really best if you just get to know your own hair and go from there.
I definitely agree with that as far as the brushes. I personally like the coarse, people call them hard brushes with the hard back. Those are what I like to use on my hair. But like you say, it just really depends on your hair type and and also what feels comfortable to you. Some people don't like certain brushes because they feel like it hurts their sores their scalp, or it's tender or something like that. So it's whatever you feel is best and what feels best to you.
Also, if it's taking your hair out, some hair, like my hair, I wouldn't detangle my hair dry. So you might need some product, maybe water, leave-in conditioner, I don't know, so that you can get through your hair without ripping it out, because you shouldn't be ripping your hair out. You might need to section it off, because I do that sometimes, and comb the ends out first and then brush it, so that it doesn't rip your hair out.
And also maybe instead of trying to use a brush, get a wide tooth comb. Uh, Make sure that the hair has conditioner or moisturizer on it, and start from the ends and work your way up. Uh, I don't really use a brush to detangle. I mainly use a brush to kind of style my hair. But that's just me. But I would advise a person to ask that to use a wide tooth comb. You can get them at Walmart or Sally's or places like that. And when you have product on your hair, like conditioner or something, just start from the ends and section it off. Start from the ends to detangle, and then work your way up to the scalp. That may be a way to, I'm not sure what the reason is for using a brush, but if it's to like to detangle or just kind of style it, maybe use a wide tooth comb to see if that helps you versus using a brush, especially a wig brush, as they say, if that takes your hair out.
Another idea, I have 4C hair, which is pretty thick and yeah, very thick. Another idea is when you're washing your hair, you can actually finger detangle first. So just run your fingers through your hair. That'll help kind of like prepare your hair for the comb part. So when you finger detangle, just run it through. You'll get some hair coming out, but it'll definitely prep your hair and make it a little bit easier when you start putting the comb through it.
Also, there was a question about how do you determine what type of hair you have and what do you do with the information. You can simply just go on Google and look for charts that show the different types of hair. And then based on that hair, you will do more research, kind of like what Emerald mentioned about getting to know your hair. So they have different charts online that has the different types of hair, and it'll tell you what type of hair you have according to pictures, or it may describe. And if that whatever one best suits you, then you would kind of look more into that type of hair to better be able to understand how do you take care of the hair, or what do you do, as far as what you're saying, what do you do with that type of information? You would want to research their hair type and then see what's best for that type of hair.
Thank you so much, everyone. It looks like we have one more question. If there are any local places that you have recommendations for products.
Local where?
I may be assuming, but Carbondale, the Carbondale, Southern Illinois area.
It really just depends on what you're looking for. I mean, I live in Carbondale, but you can get castor oil in Walmart, Walgreens, Mr. Kim's, Brahim's. You can get coconut oil, leave-in conditioners everywhere. It's in Walgreens, Walmart, the beauty supply stores. You really can get pretty much anything. I mean, some things I get offline, like a shea butter block or something like that. But you really just gotta kind of look around, and you gotta be more specific, because it just depends on what products you're looking for.
Yeah, I totally agree. It depends on what you're looking for to determine where you want to go get the products, if you're looking for an in-store place rather than buying online.
I think, and correct me, anybody, if I'm wrong, but I think that's all the questions that we have for now. Thank you so much for all of your knowledge. Really appreciate it. I think we still have a video to watch on some hair how-tos. So I think we will get to that, and then we will have one more prize giveaway as well. And we will also make sure to keep an eye on any questions if there happen to be any more questions that come in before we wrap up for the night. So one moment and we will start that video.
Hi everyone, it's Ebony.
And it's Denise.
And this is Olivia, and we are Olivia Has Two Moms. And today we are guests on Millennial Moms. Today we're going to show you how we maintain our daughter's hair. Olivia is mixed, so her hair is biracial mixed hair, which means she has more than one different texture. She has very curly hair, very curly hair. And there's this stigma that it could be very hard to maintain mixed hair. But guys, we're here to tell you that it's really simple to do and very easy.
People, you mean grown-ups can help you do your hair, or you need help, but when employees though, you also need help.
My wife takes care of shampooing and conditioning, so we're gonna go through that first.
With washing Olivia's hair, we have used every single product from Just For Me, Mixed Chicks, Shea Moisture. They are really good products to use on natural hair. Apply conditioner when sectioning the hair. This is when you should detangle the hair by using a wide tooth comb and starting from the ends so that there's less damage to the hair. Here's a quick tip. Dry the hair using a cotton t-shirt for less frizz.
Now it's time to style the hair, which is my job. So we're gonna say bye to my wife now so that I can show you guys a cute, really quick hairstyle of how I do Olivia's hair.
Bye guys.
I start off with using Carol's Daughter. I love this product. It's a leave-in moisturizer. It's so perfect. It keeps the shine. What's your favorite products to use? Tell us down below in the comments. I used next the Shea Moisture Kids Detangler. It's always good to put a detangler in this type of texture hair because it can easily get tangled. This is a very quick hairstyle. I literally just brush her hair into a ponytail, fluff up her ponytail with her beautiful curls, and I section the top, which I'm gonna now use the kinky curl to do a 2-strand twist in her hair. Sometimes you don't have time to do the full head, so I just like to do little sections of it. It's a really quick and easy hairstyle. 1, 2, 3. I now put a nice little cute bow, section off, give it another little spray with the detangler, fluff up the curls, and here you have a beautiful, cute, quick hairstyle.
We hope you enjoyed this video on how we maintain our daughter's hair, right babe?
I hope you did.
All right, and make sure to subscribe to this channel, Millennial Moms, for other great mom videos right up here. And make sure if you want to see more of us, check us out on our main channel on Olivia Has Two Moms. All right, guys, thank you guys so much.
Thank
1, 2, 3,
you.
peace.
Okay, so we're gonna open up the Q&A. If you have any more questions, feel free to ask them now because we are coming to the end of our program. Okay, so it looks like we don't have any questions. I do want to thank you guys for joining us. We're going to do a prize giveaway. So I'm going to let Liz go ahead and do that before we close.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Emerald, and thank you so much to Brittany and Mide for being with us here today. Thank you for all of your knowledge. We're going to do one more prize giveaway, and our prize winner is TJ Zweidinger. TJ Zweidinger, congratulations. Thank you for being with us tonight, and we will email you about how to pick up your prize. Thank you so much.
Okay, I do want to thank you all for joining us. I do want to leave you guys with this message Be kind to yourself, be kind to your hair. Remember that for a long time, we didn't have access to this information. So don't be hard on yourself because you might have not been taking care of your hair. Now's your chance, to turn that around. We do want to thank our event co-sponsors, Carbondale United, Carbondale Public Library, African American Museum of Southern Illinois, the Women's Center, Soul Ill Unity Coalition, Men of Power, Women of Strength. Thank you so much to Brittany, Liz, and Mide for being with us today. If you have any questions, feel free to email Nancy Maxwell, Carbondale United Director, at carbondaleunited15@gmail.com. That's carbondaleunited15@gmail.com. You can get your certificate for attending this through Liz Hartman, CPL Teen and Youth Librarian. Her email contact is ehartman@carbondale.lib.il.us. That's ehartman@carbondale.lib.il.us. Thank you guys again, and it's been a